Okay, guys, we are live. It's Monday night, and what a weekend, boys and girls. What a weekend. 5-star performance by the Super Reds. Unbelievable stuff at Old Trafford. I've never seen the likes of it. I'm following them since the 80s. This was dreamland. I'm nearly losing my voice. Dreamland. I woke up this morning saying, was I dreaming? It's just unbelievable stuff at Old Trafford. And to talk about it, three legends. The voice is nearly gone. Conroy talks in the house. Jack, Mack, LFC, and Owen for the koponpodcast. Guys, great to have you. How are you feeling today? Are we dreaming?
Yeah, mate. Still, it's a bit surreal.
Oh, Jesus!
It still hasn't quite computed that happened yesterday. I spoke to someone earlier. I spoke to Callum Sanderson earlier, and I still can't quite believe that happened. It was a strange day, amazing, but strange day. Yeah, unbelievable. Still's not quite registered. So yeah, that's what I've got to say on it anyway. It's unbelievable.
I think we'll finish the pod right there. I mean, it's just.
Nothing to say. You can't say anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's rare. It's rare. I'm dumbfounded, but I mean, I had a feeling we'd beat them. We're a better team and all that, better manager, of course, but not in my wildest dreams would we beat them 5-0 at Old Trafford. It just wasn't going to happen. After about 52, 53 minutes, we start playing around with them then for the last half hour. Jack, same with you. Dreamland, baby.
Yeah, cheers for having me on, Dave. Pleasure as always. But yeah, as the lads have said, and everyone in the comment section below, hope you're still partying, because rightly so, because it's a fantastic. It's a very rare occasion that you come to Old Trafford and you play that well, regardless of obviously the quality of the opposition and whoever's in the hot seat at Manchester United. But yeah, it was every aspect. It was the manner in which we did play, mate. We tore them apart. But we weren't even out of first gear, I'd say, really. It's not like we didn't even try, but it was far too easy. But yeah, buzzing, mate. As we'll discuss tonight, we'll pick it apart.
Owen, you could retire now, my friend. The podcast could retire after that result. What do you think?
Well, I can't stop talking about it, even though that we are all still in shock, and it's it's a lot to take in, because you said it's beyond your wildest dreams. It actually is. Like, I was thinking about it. How much have you dreamt? I mean, I have always in my life sort of dreamt of a dominating display at Old Trafford. Because even going back to the last time we won consecutive matches there, that was Danny Murphy 1-0 defensive tactics, Gerard Houllier stuff, right? Never in my life have we gone there and actually, apart from the 4-1, but then there was a red card. There were always, other circumstances, and we're doing that from they were at the time, unfortunately, probably a slightly better team than us, but everything went our way on that day. Whereas this one is like, we've gone there and we've been sort of gold, and they haven't even been bronze. They've been like a sort of pebble, a standard bit of gravel in someone's driveway. We've absolutely destroyed them. And there's something about the yin and yang of the universe, and our happiness, our joy. Think about how they must feel. They must feel dismal. They must feel absolutely abject. I'm thinking, where is the light going to come from? A new manager, Zinedine Zidane, maybe. But as it is, we proved yesterday they're a long way behind us, and it feels beautiful.
I'm sorry I asked the question. Conroy, where do we start? I mean, a lot of people were filled with a bit of worry going into that game. It is Old Trafford. We don't have a fantastic record over it. Oh, historically, sorry. I know we beat them 4-2 recently, but historically, don't have it great. We were a few players missing. When everybody heard the team sheet, Fabinho out, Mane out, Matip out. What was going through your mind?
I was okay with the Jota one. Jota played the last season, scored, done it again. So that's why Jurgen Klopp's a football manager and we're fans at the end of the day. Like, Jota's just, his movement is just so underrated. Like, genuinely, he's ridiculous. He's just, I think he's up there for the most. If you actually just watch have a Jota cam, it'd be very useful. So I think he's spotted a weakness against United. That's why he tends to play. He's played him twice now at Old Trafford and he's scored. So I wasn't bothered about that. We've not got a front three anymore. We've got a front four, and it's whoever you want to play. I think we're going to accept that. Like, the front three is not a thing anymore. It is definitely the front four, and that's probably made Firmino much better, I would say, because he feels free now. The shackles are off a bit. Obviously, the Fabinho one, you can't even. Doesn't matter how you word that. You're going to miss Fabinho. He is probably, if not the best DM. Maybe argue, obviously, Kante's does the work of two people, but with Fabinho's passing on top, he's reading the game. I'd probably say he's the best. So you're going to lose that. However, I was concerned, but I wasn't really concerned about that. I just think this occasion sometimes causes us to, well, a lot of the time causes us not to do ourselves justice, and a lot of times psychologically, especially under Klopp, we've never really went there and showed how good we could be. Obviously last season, yes, but ironically that was probably the worst side we had out against United out of all Klopp's tenure, and that's the one we won at Old Trafford with. Yeah. And obviously, who was the last one? It was Konate. Wasn't worried about Konate. Thought it made sense. Pace. He's used them against Crystal Palace. I think I'd said in a previous stream, I think we need to understand as well the centre backs now he's going to try and use the depth for them as well. I think we'll have to kind of look at centre backs. It's like, we want Van Dijk to play as many games as he can, but really, I think you've got three pairings there that I think we'll all be pretty happy with if Van Dijk, Gomez, Van Dijk, Matip, or Van Dijk, Konate. So yeah, there was only the Fabinho one I was a little bit concerned about, because as we discussed, Dave, I think against Atletico, and there's been other games where we maybe lacked a little bit of control without having Fabinho there, but it didn't really matter at the end of the day, and overall, I was pretty happy. Barring the midfield one, I was pretty happy with the other two. Yeah, no, absolutely. Jack, I mean, you probably did a pre-show, obviously talking about just before the game with Fabinho being out. I was a little worried, but I still said we had a better team than United. We play our A game, we beat them. It was as simple as that, which we did play our A game. They played their Z game at this stage. But I mean, just were you worried, or you weren't too worried about it?
No, because I watched that United side against very depleted Atalanta side midweek. Yeah. The Atalanta missing, they had one of the centre-backs go off at half-time, and yes, United come back and won that game. But I said to myself, even if Liverpool have a 5-10 minute period at Old Trafford that they did at Atalanta, obviously Man United midweek, we'd absolutely wipe the floor with them within the space of 5-10 minutes, and we done that within quite quick anyway. And it could have
literally done that. We literally done that. Literally done that.
Yeah, it's madness. And the best part of Old Trafford, I'm seeing, I think over the more videos come out of yesterday. Obviously all the amazing away fans singing Ollie's at the wheel for a good hour and a half, or probably 2 hours after being stuck at Old Trafford. All the executives would have been listening to that and tell you it's not a case of, obviously, they probably forced Man United's hand, and we did on the pitch. Because, yes, we can talk about the historic nature of Liverpool and Man United, but you don't, a Fergie. The best bit as well, when the camera pans, fair play to whoever's working and directing in the studio.
Good at their job. Good at their job, that person.
Brilliant.
Fair play to them.
Went straight to Fergie. He's going, oh. And then Kenny just, but yeah, it's brief moments, mate. I wasn't fazed because we're a cut above the rest, and obviously us City and Chelsea are miles ahead of United, and this was on the wall, really.
No, yeah, absolutely. I don't know whether you, just before I come to you, Owen, seen the Paul Scholes interview midweek. I think it was after the Atalanta game, and he was talking about that if United play like that in the first half against Liverpool or City, they'll be 3 or 4-0 down at half time. And that was just after when he ate his daughter's toenails.
Yeah, that was disgusting. Oh my God.
There's no toenails anyway.
Oh my God. Owen, let's forget about the toenails. But
yeah, please.
What did you think of the starting 11 when it came out yesterday? Were you filled with worry, or you were saying, let's go?
I'm a bit of a worrisome guy, a bit. You should have seen me before Watford. the week before, I was terrified. So before United at Old Trafford with no Fabinho, I was a little bit worried. But I was also concentrating on the positives. We have a WhatsApp group with Copon, and I was saying, okay, there's no Fabinho, we're missing him. There's no Matip, who's been in imperious form. But look at what we do have. We have Trent on fire at the moment. Trent is unbelievable. He's been unbelievable for ages, but he's getting better and better. I think Trent is I don't know, it's just so nice. It's watching, a rose bush begin to bloom, and it's already beautiful. But when it's going to be in full bloom, it's like spectacular. It's got what do they call it? Fibonacci sequences of infinite glory about Trent's future career, and it's lovely to see. It's beautiful, in a word. But when I saw the lineup and I saw Henderson, because I'm a stats man, you know that, Dave. And Henderson, if you look at his stats on fbref.com, it's what they use on Stats Bomb, right? He is in the second percentile, as in 98% of midfielders in the top 5 leagues in Europe make more tackles than Henderson does in midfield. Like this is a really surprisingly bad statistic. But I was thinking before the game as well, let's not focus on what they can't do. Let's focus on what they can do. And on a good day, you could see all the brilliance that Henderson can bring to a game. He brought it yesterday. He really did. He made 134 passes. And when you think about Xavi Hernandez for Barcelona, I mean, on a good day, Xavi Hernandez would make 110. Jordan Henderson made 134 yesterday, which is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, it helped a lot, the fact that we kept the ball for 5 minutes non-stop between the 73rd and 78th minute. It was some kind of madness. We were just keeping the ball after the red card, and you could see Klopp saying clean sheet on about 60 minutes after Pogba got sent off, and we just passed it around. We took the mickey out of them, which is great to watch. But going back to your original question, the starting lineup, I had a few heebie-jeebies were there, I'm not going to lie, and I'm sorry I ever doubted our glorious captain Jordan Henderson, because he was absolutely magnificent.
And what a ball through for Mosalah's hat-trick. Oh, delicious. Conroy, Naby Keita. Let's talk Naby, lad. This guy is so bloody unlucky. If it's not injuries playing PlayStation, it's people like tackling him, bad tackles on the pitch. I mean, I thought he was absolutely fantastic yesterday.
No, I thought it was really good. I know I said it last night. I said we might be seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with consistency with Naby Keita, but I'm not going to say it quite yet, because that was his best game. It was a really massive moment. He's actually, you talk about stats, he's probably had a good stat number season. If you talk about it, that's the goal against Crystal Palace, a goal and assist yesterday, and the goal against Atletico. Albeit Atletico was a bit of a mixed bag, because he wasn't overall, after they scored the first goal, his head kind of went a bit. But to me, it looks like he's I think we've all started to accept that Naby Keita is not going to be a dynamic Leipzig midfielder. That's not what he's going to be for us anymore. Even though, ironically, his midfield runs were great yesterday, but at times in games, be composed, be tenacious, and then there'll be certain games where he can really use that advantage and make runs off the midfield. Because, I mean, I don't know if Klopp, they probably did work on that specifically, but I mean, I've seen schoolboy teams track runners better than that, so I don't even know how much credit I want to give for the run, because it's a good run, don't get me wrong, but you're not even tracking a runner. But fair play to Keita, really, really good yesterday, and hopefully, because the way it's kind of worked out with injuries this season in midfield, it's probably done him a favour. I'd probably add Ox to that list as well. Ox had a few bad performances coming on. Everyone's like, he couldn't cross the road, he's just terrible. Everything simple 4-yard passes, trying too hard. Last couple of games just came on, he's done reasonably well. I'd think that Keita has showed that recently, and hopefully can kick on from here. I've heard rumours, I don't know if you know anymore, that it was not too bad following he came off the park.
I heard it wasn't too bad. It's a 2 or 3 week job rather than a 2-3 month job. That's what I heard.
So that's reasonable. Okay, with Jones coming back as well, that I feel like that's good for him, especially for, as you say, he's a very unlucky. He isn't the most robust, I think we could say that. I'm not saying yesterday we had anything to do with robustness, but previously. So hopefully he can get back to action as soon as possible. But I don't know if you thought that yesterday, but I felt like, I don't know if it was because we were just shocked at how bad they were at tracking runners, or if Klopp had looked at that before the game. Because it wasn't just the goals. A few times Keita just ended up really high in the box at the either edge coming in, or as you say, for Jota's one, he wins the ball, because that's when Shaw and Maguire have, I don't know what they're trying to do there. I thought they were trying to defending, or they were trying to, I don't know, mimic defending, but who knows. But he was always there, so it wasn't just like a luck thing. So that was really interesting. I thought Klopp was my man in the match yesterday, and maybe it's just the way it worked out, but I thought he got every decision, just like, even from Konate to be like, stop giving Trent a bit of support because of that pace. Just, 10 out of 10 from Klopp. But yeah, Keita, I think Keita will kick on now, Dave. I'm going to put my head on the chopping block, and I'm going to say this might be the start of consistency for Naby Keita. He doesn't need to be an 8 out of 10 every week. He just has to be a 6, 7 and can do a job, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, if he stays on the pitch, he's doing something right. You know what I mean? If Klopp keeps him, if he's not getting taken off. Yeah, I mean, it's a great start. And let's hope it's not too bad of an injury. It doesn't sound like it's going to be. But Jack, I mean, Naby Keita, we've been talking about him ever since he came here, that this was his day. This is going to be his year. I think this was going to be his year because he's running out of time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's been like two years left on his contract. And we know what Liverpool are like with contracts. But yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it? All those fans who want him to stay fit, but fingers crossed. It was a horrible tackle, Paul Pogba. What do you expect from Paul Pogba? Fingers crossed it's not too bad and he does get back into the squad. But as the lads were saying, it could pose an opportunity for Ox or Curtis. Obviously, Curtis has been in and out through this season with injuries and that. But with opportunities that do arise within team selections, it's up to Jones and Ox really now. If Naby is out for the next couple of weeks, what does this pose? But yeah, the defensive aspects, as the lads have already alluded to, Naby's not going to do that, but against better teams, it's Man United. They're not going to track back. Obviously, we've seen in midweek against Athletic Madrid, the 2 goals, obviously, the Liverpool, Van Dijk was facing the other way on the second goal for the Atletico game goal. So, but yeah, I think if he can develop his defensive side of his game, I think you need that in Liverpool's midfield. Curtis needs to develop that. Ox as well. You need to be that combative midfielder. You've got 3 workhorse midfielders, regardless who you do select in Liverpool's midfield. You just chalk and cheese in relation to Manchester United midfielders. Yes, they've got the more technical ability players in terms of Fernandes, obviously. I know we say they make it harder for Ed, but he's a good technical-ish player. That's stretching it, but yeah, and James Milner as well. All of them, but Naby, mate, fingers crossed this is the season. But we've been saying this for how long? Every single season that's gone by. Exactly. But fingers crossed, mate.
Owen, I know you like your stats, as I said earlier, but I remember a stat you told me a few weeks ago that Naby, the minutes he's played are just ridiculously bad for Liverpool. Yeah.
I can bring him back up, but I've got some stats from the game in front of me from yesterday, because he only played. He went off in the 62nd minute, right? And he had 1 tackle, which is the same as Andrew Robertson, Konate, Van Dijk had no tackles, for example. There weren't many tackles in the team, but he had 1. He had 4 interceptions, which was the most of any player. So that was defensively. And then going forward, he had, of course, he scored. He had 2 shots in total. He scored 1 of them, but also 4 key passes, including 1 assist. He was fouled twice as well. So these are great stats. I mean, that's the most in the team, 4 key passes. Trent was second with 3. Henderson had 3 as well. Mosalah had 2. Jota had 2. So, I mean, he had the most amount of key passes, even despite only playing 62 minutes. It was interesting what Conroy was saying about the tactics, because I think this season, each sort of right-sided number 8 has had the same role, more or less, in most of the games, which is to sort of rotate with Trent and Mosalah. And it's weird because you can see Mosalah sometimes, not all the time, but go into almost like a right wing, almost like quite far back as a right wing, almost like a right back, even occasionally. But then going forward almost diagonally, and the other two sort of rotate around. So sometimes Trent goes inside and Keita was out on the wing. And it's really hard for teams to clock onto that and to stop. And it just creates space. And a centre back is supposed to be, or a left back who's supposed to be marking Salah does not want to get dragged all the way out. So then they leave him. And so it's always a constant communication between their defence and their midfield as to who's picking up who. And they can never really work it out. And I've seen that it was the same with Curtis.
With Elliot. Yeah,
on the other side. Yeah, with Elliot as well. Yeah, exactly.
Even to add to that as well, see, Porto, I think it was Robertson and Jones. That was the one game I'd say they'd done it on the left side. I think Jones is probably the best from the left side to do it. It's like the left back, the right winger, the left winger. They kind of have that kind of trio, just like in the right. It's a really good point.
Exactly,
I've actually never thought about that now because it doesn't matter. It's not necessarily an inverted. It's not even an inverted like centre mid. So, for example, it's not necessarily a right footer on the left because Naby doing it yesterday, being right footed and on the right. The tactic seems to be working though, guys, because that's 8 games in now, and as you said, if he's done it, I think you said he's done it quite a lot. I think off the top of my head, that's 5 times I've done it. So, yeah, if nobody can stop it, that's great news for us.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
The number one, Dave, as well. Just a quick, I don't know how accurate this stat is. Probably wrong, but someone said to me, Naby's
it was 5-0, Jack. It was 5-0.
Naby is the first person since Jan Molby to get a goal and assist from a midfielder at Old Trafford. I don't know how accurate that was. Which just a little stat.
Maybe Gerrard. Maybe Gerrard.
When I heard that, I was like, surely Gerrard got a goal and assist, but
yeah, I think he did actually. But anyway,
not always in the same game though. At Old Trafford specifically.
Yeah, I think it's Old Trafford, mate. Yeah,
I don't know. Like Gerrard scored a lot of goals. And,
Gerrard, remember the 4-1 Gerrard.
But we've not scored a lot. Like if you think about Milner scored a few, Gerrard scored a few, but he didn't really get assist. And then
Murphy scored a few.
Yeah,
they all goals, weren't they?
Yeah.
I suppose it is. It is. Listen, we don't have historically. We're not brilliant there anyway. So to beat them 5-0 is just dreamland. And I'm gonna do Podcast City this whole week, just dreaming about it. That's what I'm gonna do. But Conroy has to go in a few minutes. But before he goes, I want to get.
I've got 10 minutes, Dave. I've got 10 minutes.
You 10 minutes. You're gonna need 10 minutes for this answer. Yeah. Mosalah, the king of Egypt, with a hat trick. And an assist for the first goal for Naby lad. Look, we could spend 3 hours talking about Mo, but Mosalah, Conroy, the floor is yours.
No, unbelievable. Just before we talk about Mo, I just wanted to add that see every goal we've scored. You know how you get goal involvement passes, and sometimes that's just like it's not really a big thing. But I actually think for every goal we scored, I think there's a few started from Robbo's side. He started the put the ball in that area, and then he had for Trent, and he had Naby being involved. It was really good to see actually, because it felt like there was a lot. Every goal that was actually started, it was a good build up. I think my favourite goal has to be the Salah's goal is my favourite, and the actual last sequence is probably a bit lucky, but before that, it's like the back heel to Firmino. It's beautiful stuff.
The little flick, the little Brazilian flick.
It's brilliant. And so it's like, don't get me wrong, it's terrible defending, but the fact we're at the edge of the box is because of great play. So, but anyway, on Mosalah, unbelievable. No, not unbelievable. Well-rounded, and he is the most well-rounded he's ever been right now. His decision-making, his peak, he is at his peak right now because he's not overcomplicating it. He's really not overcomplicating it. His finishing looks ruthless at the moment. You've seen the pass to Keita. It's like, I saw the interview after the game. If he tries to go on himself there, every fan's going to be raging with him. I don't care what you say. It's an easy pass, so you play your teammate in. That's what's really good about him now, is he knows that. He knows when to do the right thing. And to me, he's on top of his game with that now. So then you've got that. It's a great start for a place we're terrible at finishing at times. We waste so many chances. So that's an amazing start. He's getting involved in the game. It looks like he's playing well against a left back who, to be fair, has done well against him. Luke Shaw has had his number a few times. Yeah. So it's a refreshing start. Then obviously he misses a chance as well when it's 2-0. The Rashford back pass. Kind of he telegraphs the finish. He could have sent De Gea a letter, but to be fair, it was a tough angle. But then his goal is, to me, that's the most impressive thing about Salah at the moment, is these movement for like striker goals. Like, so when Keita gets it, he makes, I know it looks so simple. It looks such a simple goal, but that ball comes across, first time finish with the right foot. He's getting loads of those little tap and finishes. He needs, because that's what's making him so, it's one of the other things that's making him so effective. A bit like his goal at Leeds. They're simple goals, but when you've got people like Trent or whoever at the right side, it was Keita this time, that's massive. Then you get the second goal just to make it 4-0 before half time, which is just crazy. And I've got to be honest, that's my favourite goal, because that to me is the one that looks like a proper clinical finish. Like, first time, like, he knows what he's doing before he gets it. Probably not, like Salah at times is, you've seen him take a touch there and try and feed that in the corner, but he's that confident right now, and he's that composed. He doesn't scuff it, he places it in the corner. It's just it's a great finish. I don't think enough's been made of how good that finish was, because De Gea is in very good form, and he's just passed it in the corner. And then obviously the last goal, but I think a lot of the credit has to go to Jordan Henderson. I'm not going to give Salah all the credit in that one. It's a good finish after his touch is a bit rusty the second one, which actually helps him, because but it's the finish. I thought he just toe poked it, but I've watched it again. It's like he'll just lifts it slightly, just the tiniest bit of lift, and it catches it through. Which to me, he's just on fire right now, and it's like. He's not. I don't know if you guys agree. This is going to sound strange, right? Because I've never been one to call him. At times he's maybe been over selfish, but I think most people are if you try to get goals and reliance on. But right now, I don't think he is. I feel like he's probably been the most well-rounded he's ever been right now. But the goals are flowing as well, which is such a contradiction. It's really strange. But see, like that game yesterday, as soon as he scored his hat-trick, it was like he wasn't, even before that, it's not like it's all about him. It's very organic the way it's coming about. It's about the team, and I think he's at his absolute peak right now. And to me, he's the most well-rounded. He scored 40 goals a season in his first year, but he's his peak right now. Everything he's doing is just it's decision-making, finishing, just working together, a team, being an asset, not carrying the ball in the byline and running into blind alleys. Everything's just. His football intelligence is just huge. He's up there at the moment, and it's evolved and improved a lot. And I feel like I never used to think he could move into a number 9 eventually, and there's no rush. But I think he can now, because I've seen tweaks to his game that allow him to do that. Just little bits of movement that wasn't there before. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys agree, but it's like we could go on about Salah, but yesterday to me it wasn't just about Salah, because the team was great, but he was obviously brilliant as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Conroy, you're absolutely spot on there. But for me, Salah, he's brought it to a new level for me. He literally, his tracking back is different now. He's running, he's smiling, as you said, he's passing the ball now. He's looking for the right pass. He was doing it earlier in the season with Elliott and Trent, and that lovely triangle that they were doing early in the season.
He did it in the past, but I just think so seeing a game, it'd be like an easy pass, and he'd try to shoot, but then when it's like and when he should shoot, he would pass. Like, he had games like that. It was just he wouldn't make the right decision. You can't quantify that, but you can just when you're watching the game. But right now, he just seems on it. Everything's the right choice, which is, to be honest, it's quite surprising, because there's not many footballers. There's maybe a handful on earth who get it right consistently. And right now, he is one of them.
Yeah, and what do you know what it is? It's fluid. It just seems easy. It seems easy for him. It's fluid. He's doing the right thing all of the time. Even that pass, if you notice that goal, the first goal, when he ran onto the ball and he was running out and Naby was running through, he actually stopped. He was going to play it first time, and then he stopped for a second or two, brought it forward maybe 2 or 3 yards, then played it off on a play for Naby. It was a good finish, but it was on a play for him. It was absolutely on a play. Do you know what? This Liverpool team in the 5 goals remind me of in a 5-star hotel sitting down for a 5-course meal, and every time you take your starter, you go all the way up to the main course, and right at the end, the dessert. Every single course was beautiful, baby, absolutely beautiful. So, so Jack, obviously Salah. I mean, what can you say?
Yeah, phenomenal. I just want to quick touch on Bobby Firmino as well. I think that's coincided with obviously Mane getting 4 or 5 goals in the Premier League. But I think Bobby, as Conrad was alluding to, spot on how the space Salah was getting. But I know Bobby is probably not grabbing the most headlines. Last week he got a hat-trick, didn't he, and an assist. So it's coincided with all, and Jota as well. Yesterday played ridiculous, but I'm loving the combination play between Salah and Bobby. Obviously, Bobby's dragging out Maguire and Lindelof. They didn't have a Scooby-Doo what to do, really. They were like, could we go? Where are we going? But it's Salah's probably the greatest for me in my lifetime. I'm only 26. I didn't watch Kenny and Narushi and the great legend that he plays then, mate. But even my dad, like, he sat there going, he's like, Jack, this fella is something. Like, and he went away and watched European Cups be won up and down around the world. And he's special. And we're just living in greatness at the minute. So just enjoy every single week that we do get to watch him, Firmino, Salah, Jota. Jota's got a couple more years to get to that level, but the quality in which he's putting in as well. But Salah, it's just a pleasure to watch him, mate, every single week. Could we say, I think he will get better with age. Obviously, he spoke midweek about obviously the fitness levels and how players hit 30. And so it used to be a case of they deteriorate in terms of their quality. But the sports science behind football now, you look at Ronaldo, he's 36, sorry. But Salah, the abs on him, hopefully I look that good when I'm his age anyway, but I doubt it. But yeah, he's ridiculous, mate. The stuff he's doing, you run out of superlatives, really. Every single week you do a post-match, well, we always do a post-match, and you're like, what more can you say about the man? Because you just might as well just churn out what you've said every single week, because you run out of words, mate. But world-class, phenomenal.
Conroy, you have to go now. So you have to go now in a minute or two. So before I come back to you, Owen, Conroy, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Hopefully we can have you on again, because you're an absolute brilliant.
No,
brilliant
of course,
guy.
guys.
Fair
Dave,
play
can I just add before, see Firmino, I'll just go ahead now, guys, but see my favourite bit, which people are not really talking about, is the fourth goal. It's, I think Curtis Jones plays it to Firmino. It's not the worst pass, but Firmino's touch, it's like he takes it down from the air. And we're not really talking about it. So if you're around it, you need to go and watch this again, because I watched it last night. He takes it in from the air. It's not high, just a little bit high. And then he drags it in the second touch away from, I think it might be Maguire. And all jokes aside, it's quite a fast-paced thing. So he moves it, then he flicks it. He holds up, and then fair play, Robbo comes in and plays the pass to Jota, and then Jota to Salah. But this touch, people are not speaking about this touch. It's like Bobby Firmino has been frustrating in the past because he's Brazilian, isn't he? So it's like, see if you want to control a game for 20 minutes, take Bobby off the park, because he's going to try passes that he might lose the ball. But listen, he seems to be aging like a fine wine with some of the stuff he's doing. And yeah, that touch yesterday, just shout out. And I completely agree. I know I'd say at the start, but the best thing we have done is sign Jota, because it's the front four now, and it looks like Bobby Firmino is so free right now. He's not got this pressure. I need to score this many goals. It's like, that's why you have a Jota like that. See Jota's goal. That's what Jota's a little bit different. I know our front three can do that, but Jota's movement's kind of like that. And I'm so happy for Firmino, because you've got an amazing footballer there, and now it's like the shackles are off. So I think he'll continue. And ironically, he's probably going to score more goals this season than he did. He may score more just because of we're getting goals from everywhere. Salah, but Jota, Mane, Firmino, we're all chipping in. So we'll see. Maybe Firmino might hit 10 in the Premier League this year, or 15. Can you imagine that? They'll call him Firmino goals, and he scored 15. He scored more. He scores more than Ronaldo. Can you imagine he scores more than Ronaldo? Oh my God, what a real break.
Who's Ronaldo?
Yeah,
anyway, Conroy, you've got to rock
football.
and roll. Talk to you soon, bro. Thanks for
coming on. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you.
Right, top guy, Conroy. Conroy Talks on YouTube. Check him out. He's beyond the day trippers, and he's beyond with Grizz Can as well. Guys, Owen, I have to talk to you about Mosalah, the king of Egypt. What the hell can you say? What more can you add?
Oh, well, I can talk about him till the cows come home, and I have no idea what time that would be, because they're normally a bit unreliable. What Conroy was saying about passing is very interesting, I think, because I've got his Mosalah's assist stats for Liverpool in front of me, just in the Premier League, right? So that season where he got 44 goals, he got 32 goals in the Premier League, of course, world record breaking. Well, There's only the English league, so
Unbelievable.
record breaking, better than Shearer, better than whoever you name. Name a striker, Thierry Henry, Van Nistelrooy. No one got 32 goals. Not even Luis Suarez. So Mo Salah still doesn't get enough credit for that, I don't think. But that season he got 10 assists as well. 32 goals and 10 assists in 34 starts. Crazy. Kooky. Wild. Then if you look at his next season, he got 22 goals with 8 assists. The season after that, 19 goals and 10 assists. That was in 1920 when we won the league. And then last season, he got 22 goals, extraordinary effort, and only 5 assists, relatively only 5 assists. So this season, he's now got 10 goals already and already 5 assists. And his expected assists, according to StatsBomb, are 4. So he's doing 1 better than that, which means that the rest of the team is finishing better, which we are.
Yeah.
We're more clinical this season. And the reason he only got 5 assists last season is we missed so many chances. It was unreal. So I don't know what we're doing to be more clinical. But Salah, this is the thing, because in terms of his finishing, if we forget his passing, which is improving drastically, as I've just mentioned, his actual finishing, I mean, his XG, he got 22 goals last season, but his XG this season is only 6 in 9 games, which is also really high. But he scored 10. Yeah. So he's, it's like that shot yesterday, as someone put it in the comments quite brilliantly, that, it was a dagger shot. It was a dagger. He's clinical. He's, my friend texted me, my student friend, he's a friend and a student, he texted me yesterday, hairdresser to the stars. His name is Chagger. He cuts footballers' haircuts.
He probably cuts Pogba's hair, does he? He better do a better job than that.
Yeah, no, actually, I think Pogba he's one of the rare ones who chooses someone else. But anyway, he texted me and he said Salah is walking on water. Wow. And he really is, because 10 goals from only 6 XG plus 5 assists in 9 matches. 9. There are quick. My maths is awful, but there are 29 games left. If Mo Salah can stay fit, I mean, he's going to break 32 goals.
Yeah.
He's going to, he's on for like a 40-goal Premier League season, which would, I don't know, will it ever be broken? I don't know. Fingers crossed he stays fit, because we're watching Beethoven when he wrote, the Moonlight Sonata. We're watching Wagner at his most bombastic. And we're watching Pablo Picasso in his blue period. This is genius, pure genius. Every game unfolding before our eyes, regardless of if he signs the contract or not. I freaking love it every time. Pre-match, Salah's in the team sheet. Oh, can't wait every time.
It's basically Einstein's E equals MC squared level. That's the level. That's the level we're at, because in football terms, as in Liverpool fans terms, I know Paul Owens is saying here, this team is the best Liverpool team he has seen in 45 years of watching the Reds. Yeah. It's the time of our lives. And what the TikTok, Instagram fans don't understand, the FSG outers who are still, you're very quiet yesterday, I have to say. But what they don't understand is you've got to enjoy when you're on a roll like this. You've got to enjoy it. It doesn't come around forever. It doesn't last forever. It's cyclical. Life is cyclical. The leaves fall off the trees in autumn. This is what happens in football and in life. And you've got to enjoy it. As I say, Klopp won't be around here forever either.
It'll never happen again. We're 20 million net spend, Dave. Since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in, he spent 288 million net spend, and Klopp 20 million net spend since December 2018.
It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
And as you said, I mean, as Conroy said, Klopp was man of the match yesterday. We know Mosalah got it, of course, but Klopp is the key. You look at this team since he came in for 6 years ago, a few weeks ago, 2015. He is the Shankly DNA, man. He's the man with the Shankly DNA. For me, he is the nearest thing we have in the modern day football. I don't care about anybody else. To Shankly. That's him. Jurgen Norbert Klopp.
Yeah, he's the black hole that all these stars revolve around.
Yes, and they all get sucked down into his philosophy of football. But Ant, Leicester fan chat, I say he's a happy man at the moment. Ant, all the money and you're shy. All the money and you're shy. I presume he's talking about Man United. I think he's talking about Man United there. Or is it Newcastle maybe he's talking about?
Yeah, it could be.
But I'll tell you, Leicester are playing well at the moment. They beat United 4-2 last week. And to make an unbelievable Carlsberg weekend, as we call it, Everton. What the hell happened there, guys? What the? It is a dream. It's a dream it's a dream of a weekend where you want to bottle it up and sell it on eBay. That's how good it was. Jack, what do you think? I mean, it was some weekend. You throw the Everton result in. Oh,
yeah, buzzing, mate. I've had no replies of all Man United mates and the Everton mates. It was Rafford out this weekend. We were Rafford in like a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, no, it's the thing, isn't it? I always wind them up on Instagram, on Twitter, and that, and go just a hashtag Rafford in. It just triggers the whole, because especially after a bad result, they're absolutely fuming, mate. We all love Rafa. What he done for the football club, even if he is at Everton, he'll still will be a Liverpool legend for what he's done, and obviously the great work he does for charity.
And the great work he's doing right now.
Yeah. Hopefully he gets relegated. Just need him to get the Man United job and get them relegated, mate. And then it'll be happy days. But yeah, fantastic, mate.
So obviously we won 5-0. Salah hat-trick. He was the man of the match, as we know. Kanate is another man. I said on a pod, I think it was Thursday night with Keith and Ivan. I think, Jack, I'm not sure you were there, but I said there's 3 players I want to play well if they start. I mentioned 3 players. I actually mentioned Matip, I mentioned Naby Keita, and I mentioned Jota. And yesterday, when the team came out, on Saturday or Sunday, yesterday, I'm forgetting, it's gone through my mind even today. It's a mystery. It's a mystery to me. But the 3 of them all played well. I mean, obviously, Naby scored an assist. Jota scored. And I mean, Kanate, clean sheet. He looked really good beside Van Dijk. He really did. That was it. There's so many nuggets to take out of this bloody result. Not only was it Old Trafford, not only did we humiliate them in front of their own fans, not only did Mosalah, we broke all the records. It was Guinness Book of Records Day. Salah with the hat trick, all the assists and everything you want to throw in. Klopp's 200th win, the quickest ever in a Liverpool manager's history. Stuff like that. But Kanate was a big bonus for me, a big plus. Clean sheet, never looked out of place, did all the right things, easy. He's a big boy, isn't he? He's a big boy.
It's what I love, Dave. He was bullying all the Man United players, and he's only 21. Owen, is obviously a lot more in terms of French football, mate. In terms of all the, he's very highly regarded. I know,
hugely highly regarded. Yeah.
And
like his height, huge.
Yeah. He was. What I loved was yesterday he was like bullying them constantly. Fred was grappling with them, but he was not phased. He's like 21 years old, and to come into a game of that magnitude, probably one of the biggest games in world football in relation to how many millions are viewing it. That would have done his reputation in terms of the French national team even more positives as well, especially obviously with the fair. he managed a clean sheet at Old Trafford even before Raphael Varane. So that's great stuff.
Brilliant.
Do you know what as well? I mean, it is the biggest. I don't know where anybody knows the viewing figures for yesterday's game worldwide. I'd say it's in the absolute. I mean, Mark Goldbridge got, I think it's 1.3 million views on his watch along. I mean, it's just, and maybe they were tuning in for the last half hour, tuning in. The team going mad.
Yeah, it's all the scouts, isn't it, around the world, all the Liverpool fans.
Well, absolutely. But I mean, it is the big game. I mean, you know what I mean? It is the big game. So where does Ole go from here? Not that we really care, but I mean, I can't see him. Can you see him lasting? I mean, they're obviously chatting about it this way. I heard a rumor about Zinedine Zidane, but I mean, I don't know. I think there's still players there that I think Ronaldo could have been a mistake. I know it was short sales. They brought him in. I think Maguire was a fridge and he was defrosted yesterday big time. And of course, I still think Pogba's a problem. I really do. It's a luxury player. He's a problem. And
he's gone soon, though. He's gone.
Sorry, but that's what I'm saying. I think he's a problem to have in the dressing room. Klopp would not like those players. They'd never get a sniff at Liverpool. They're disruptive. They're disruptive players. And I think there's a lot of work to do at United there. They're a team of individuals. They're not a team, basically. So what do you think, Owen? Where do United go from here? Do you want to give their board some, maybe a 10-year contract for Ole?
Oh man, I've been Ole in. I tweeted after the match, that a wise man once said, "It's darkest before dawn. Don't give up." Hashtag Ole in, because I want him in. I want to sow the seeds of recovery amongst all the Manchester United fans so that they can, keep believing, keep the faith in the Norwegian.
Don't stop believing.
Yes.
Journey, and it wasn't a journey. What a song!
I want them to continue this journey that they've been on. He's I've said it before, I'll say it again. He's the best Manchester United manager that Liverpool have ever had. He's absolutely, he's gold. He's a diamond. He's a wonder. I love him so much. He does just enough to keep his job. He's been doing that for a year and a half. That comeback against Atalanta, that's what saved him. Because had he lost against Atalanta and then lost against us 5-0, we would already know that he'd
be gone. Yeah,
but there was his comeback, and he'd be saying, "Yeah, but we've got signs. We're just building a team. We're getting used to each other. We're getting used to playing with Ronaldo, and of course the owners like him. Hopefully they'll keep the faith." But that's just it's fingers crossed. It's a matter of time, because at the end of the day he is incompetent.
He's in trouble.
If another manager comes in,
Steve Bruce. No, that would be good.
He's a better manager than Ollie.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I reckon he is. No, I reckon you're right. But it's an attractive proposition, right? In world football, let's be honest about it. The Manchester United job is an attractive proposition. You have a board who, although they're hated, they back their manager. As I said, 288 million net spend since 2018, and the Glazers will continue to do that if they want to hold on to power, because that's the only thing that pacifies the fans. Is good results, So, if they get a new manager in, it could start going up if they get the right guy. I hope it's not Zidane. I think he'd do a pretty good job. I hope it's not Ten Hag, because I think he'd do a great job, the Ajax manager. Yeah. And I hope they get it
Nagelsmann, someone like Nagelsmann.
Yeah, but he's just gone to Bayern. But yeah, that someone of that type.
Someone like that, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like you said before about how we have to enjoy us being on the crest of a wave. I'm also, making sure, there's have you seen Silence of the Lambs? Where there's that kidnapped woman. It's a bit cruel, but she's down in that well.
What's your man's name? Something Butterfly Bill. Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill, he kidnaps this woman and keeps her at the bottom of a well, and she's in an awful state, bless her. She's really upset. Of course, she's been kidnapped by a murderer, but
a lunatic.
And a lunatic. And that's how it must feel to be a Manchester United fan, is to be at the bottom of that well. So I am looking down at them and sort of, pointing and laughing in a kind of, psychopathic way at them. In their misery, but at the same time, I do feel sorry for them. They will be out there. Jodie Foster's coming to save Manchester United. And so, whoever they pick is probably going to do a better job. So, let's enjoy
the demise. But also, you've also got an added caveat of Paul Scholes coming to nibble on your toenails at the end of the game.
Don't mention it.
Oh boy! I don't know whether you know Scholes or Shoals. They're called Shoals. The feet thing. So I call him Paul Scholes. But anyway, look, Jack. It's crazy. I mean, the thing about the banter, especially over here in Ireland with Liverpool United, because they're probably they are the two big teams over here. I mean, there's a few United boys on my job tomorrow. They'll be hiding tomorrow. I'm telling you, they will be hiding. But they're the type that, if Liverpool won a game, they'd be out with the banners. They'd be out with flags nearly, even if it was a normal league game. But tomorrow, they just won't open their mouth. So you got to get the banter going because we don't win 5-0 at Old Trafford every day, as we just said. But,
yeah, no, right.
I mean, what do you
give it
think?
out.
What do you think, Ole? I mean, what's at the wheel for Ole?
He's completely out of his depth, and I think all of us were like, "How has he even got the job?" He's a Norwegian PE teacher, and there's no beating around the bush. His CV, I think we've got probably a better CV if we played Footy Manager in relation to his. Mulder didn't even win the league with Haaland, I think, back in the day when they had him. But
Cardiff.
Yeah, got them relegated. As Owen's alluded to, hopefully he does stay there for a long time. But I think United now, it was we spoke about and we didn't like Fergie, but you've got to respect how good of a legendary manager he was. He yesterday was watching the club in which he's built up over the period in which he had from the early 90s. And he's like, what have you done? He's had Mourinho chat absolute whamming press conferences, starting fights with pressers. Van Gaal losing his marbles on the touchline. Moyes probably was the appointed manager by Fergie, and the fact that he got rid of him too early. I think if Moyes was in charge, would he be doing better than Ollie? Probably slightly better, but
he's still not the right guy.
No.
He's doing a good job at West Ham, it has to be said.
Yeah,
well, because the pressure's off.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But it's fair play. It's great to watch, mate, because they United fans have give Liverpool absolute twofold every single season before we had Jäger, and it's the realization they are where Liverpool used to be for a very long time, but a lot of their fans can't accept that fact. They're not like thinking straight, and really it's difficult. And Big Sam to say, I tell you what, mate.
That would be the dream, right? Sam there licking his lips. That would be the dream, Big Sam.
Yeah, but he needs like a big character. I tell you, Zidane is probably a rare occasion that he would walk into that dressing room and he'd demand respect because of how good of a great player he was. Obviously, when he managed Ronaldo at Real.
He won't stay there, though. He won't build a leg. He's not the type of manager that will come in halfway through a season and be 4 or 5 years later building a legacy. Like the likes of Klopp, you need a year or two to bed in. Klopp's there, like within his 6th year. But it took him a year or two to get going. He was laying the foundation. The foundation was set. It took him a year. We talked about this before on one of your podcasts, maybe 18 months, and the foundation set. Then we took off. So if they're bringing someone in, they want a quick fix. It's very hard to get quick fixes in football, modern football nowadays, because as soon as you lose a game, you're, I mean, Rafa's under huge pressure now as well. At Everton. So, I mean, there's not many Klopps out there. There is no Klopps out there. We've got them. There's only one Klopp. I mean, the likes of Tuchel, the likes of Pep Guardiola, they're the top 3 in the world for me. They're the top 3.
Yeah, I mean, Zidane's got a great record, but he had a great team at Real Madrid, already that he inherited. Yeah. But it'd be interesting if he does come. I wonder if he'd be too smart to take the United job now. But I don't know, because looking at I spoke to United fans before the game. I spoke to 3 of them. I did 2 previews. I was so excited. I've been so excited done about 10 episodes of Cop On in the past 2 weeks. It's just great talking about the Premier League. It's just so exciting this season. There's so much going on all over the place. But the Man United fans, the expectations are really down. It's like some of them are still, deluded enough to believe that they could, for example, come back and win the Champions League. I heard that from a couple of them. I've seen that from a couple of them. But most of them, if you look at, for example, on Twitter, you could see when the team lineups were announced yesterday, or the comments from the United fans, they're like, yeah, we're probably going to get beaten today. They know the expectation is down. So a new manager who comes in, they've got a little bit of time. They've got a little bit of grace. If I was, I don't know, I might want to take this job if I was Zidane, but I might just think, well, it's a bit of a poison chalice. You know, if it
Yeah.
hasn't worked for great managers like Van Gaal and Jose Mourinho, who, you know, whatever you say about him, I mean, his record is impeccable. Then, you know, it might be a bit of a poison chalice.
I'm sure he'd be on the phone to the likes of Mourinho and Van Gaal going, should I take? He wouldn't just walk in without talking to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
All right, guys, before we go, obviously it's been a 5-star performance on the 5-goal Liverpool beating United at Old Trafford 5-0. This is the podcast that goes down in history like Liverpool. Jack Mack, have you much coming up this week for the Reds on your channel?
Yeah, I've got a show in about 5 minutes, mate. I'll be doing a pre-match build-up show for the Preston game. You're very welcome to join, boys. Got my mate, my other mate, Owen. He's a Preston fan. So it'll be intriguing to see. They've not been playing the best, so he'll let me know. But yeah, cheers for having me on, Dave, and everyone in chat.
Before you go, Jack, I want to do a little 30-second sign off with Running Down the Wings. Mosalah, we can all sing in on it. So, Owen, koponpodcast, you're on YouTube now, and of course, you're on Podcast City all over the world, Spotify. You can get you everywhere. Tell the fans what the story is with you.
Yeah, just koponpodcast. Google it. That's all I
Google it, baby.
Because you'll find us wherever you want. Yeah, Spotify, all that stuff, the audio thing. But yeah, if you enjoy watching things on YouTube, then do check out our Friday night preview show, because it's only on Friday nights at 7 p.m. UK time, UK and Irish time, and it's really good fun. We just look at the fixtures coming up for the weekend with fans of different clubs, so we get different perspectives there. And it's fun, yeah. So thanks very much as well for everything, Dave. It's been really good fun. Thanks, Jack, as well.
Absolutely enjoyed it. We're going to sing a little song. The three of us are going to sing. It's a famous song. It's a dream.
Everyone at home as well. Yeah,
everyone in the comments. Thanks for popping in the comments, guys. As I say, Preston North End in the League Cup as well, and it just goes up and up for Liverpool. But we'll finish on the King of Egypt. Let's hope he signs that contract soon. I have a feeling something might happen in the next few days. Do you know what? Let's go. All eyes on Mosalah. Mosalah. Running down the way. Salah.
Egyptian king.